plaintiff, James Gant, dated the defendant, and things were good. Until James got a job. James claims after he started making his own money, the defendant tried to control his every move. And he's suing her today because she burned everything he owned. Defendant Jaleesa Jackson says things with James went downhill after she caught him cheating. Jaleesa claims things went from bad to worse after she discovered that James continued to cheat, and she's countersuing for unpaid loans for rent.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, I met Jaleesa in September of last year. We had a great relationship. It was just like any other relationship in the beginning. Everything was great. I went and stayed with her in January for a week. Everything went great, so I moved in with her in February. Everything was good and great till I got a job and started getting my own money. And then I had to check in everywhere I went. She wanted to know everywhere I was going. She'd pop up an hour away just to pop up and see if I'm supposed to be where I would say I was going to be. It was just wild, Your Honor.
Why do you think? You never aroused any suspicion?
I mean, she had to work the weekends. I didn't. You know what I mean? So I go to my auntie house. Like I say, I moved in with her, and it was an hour away from where I'm from, so I would go back up there on the weekends just to visit my family.
Stay overnight?
Yes, sir.
As opposed to driving an hour?
Yes, now just for going back and forth.
In L.A., it takes me an hour to get to the airport.
Yes, sir.
So should I spend the night there?
You could. You could. You could.
My wife is going to take an hour to get to the airport, so I don't think I'm going to come home.
I didn't want to spend the weekends in the house while she was at work. I didn't want to be in the house on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday by myself while she go to work. Where she stays, there's nothing to do. It's the country.
Okay. Let me hear from you, ma'am, about your relationship.
I met James in September of last year. We've been dating for about a year. Everything was all fine and dandy in the beginning until I caught him cheating.
Ah, there you go.
Did she catch me cheating, Your Honor?
That's when all the checking up started.
Did she catch me
wanted
cheating,
to see
Your
if he
Honor?
had stopped his wicked ways.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how that went down.
Mr.
I
James.
knew it wasn't nothing about no hour. So I was about to tell Doyle to tell my wife I ain't gonna be home tonight. I don't feel like making that 1 hour drive from the airport.
Yes, Your Honor.
See how that work out.
Yeah, right.
I'll be wearing half a robe.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I have two phones. I have one that is personal and one that I keep home in case for an emergency for my kids. Mr. James decided that he wanted to text his little friend on my phone while I was at work. So I called the female and asked who she was, and she told me that her and James had been dating for about a year. And when I confronted him about it, he denies even knowing who the person was. He said that she was just a friend of one of his friends, and that's basically how it went.
Sir, you told me you never aroused suspicion. That means she never even accused you of cheating. She said she actually caught you, or she suspects.
Okay.
Therefore, you did
catch me
arouse her
cheating?
suspicion.
Did she catch me cheating? No, she didn't. And
That's
that
it.
phone number, that was my homeboy phone number, he just stayed with her,
Okay. Actually, did you cause suspicion, or did you arouse
suspicion could be anything.
Right. That's why I said that you do it.
Well,
Because it could be anything.
Yeah.
And you did a lot. So it could have been any one of those things.
anyone.
Because you were doing too much.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Way too much.
Was he paying his share of the bill?
No, Your Honor.
You weren't even paying your share of the bill,
Boy,
she said.
I gave her $600 a month, Your Honor. Every time I
the
get,
bill,
every
and
Friday
the
I got.
monthly bills were $3,000.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I can give you a breakdown.
They're more than $1,200.
No, sir. She sent me
The
a text.
entire household bills were no more than $1,200 per month.
Okay,
That is whether it's rent, lights, gas, cable, none of that amounted to over $1,200 a month.
Probably 11 at the most.
$1,100.
11 at the most.
Girl, I need you all's bills. Everybody,
Yeah, right.
everybody wants
Hey,
those
she
bills.
sent me a text message.
$1,100 a month.
She sent me a text message after I'm giving her $600 a month. She sent me a text message saying, we're going to split everything down the middle. That's how smart she is. Rent, $625. Light bill, $250. Water bill, $100. That don't equal up to $600 in my eyes.
All right, let me get to his claim of property, though. Tell me what happened with the property.
Okay, well, after I came
bleached
home.
it?
No, she burnt it, Your Honor.
Oh,
That was your second guess.
This is what I got left.
Two. That's a,
This is what I got left. Out of everything I own, this is what I got left.
Everything, sir.
Everything I own, Your Honor. This is what I got left. And not including the clothes.
No more than 2 pair of pants, sir.
That's just what I got out the pile. I'm not including the clothes. I mean, she burnt up my grandmother's rings that I was gonna give my daughter, my grandmother's earrings, my yearbooks, my diploma. I don't even have a diploma.
Yes, I did.
Let's finish up the party. It's a wait and exhale party. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Let's have a party. Wait and exhale. Woo! Woo! It's a party!
Everything.
You know you're cheating on that woman, coming here with that nonsense. Man, what do you say? You do have to pay, though. You can't burn the man's stuff up and not pay. And I'm not paying half. All I did is throw it up in the air. I have nothing. I'll pick it up and put it back together if you want. Ma'am?
Yes,
What
sure.
happened?
Well, I have text messages here.
Party's over. Now it's time to pay the bill. You know
Yeah.
how people, you have a party, you got to pay the bill.
I paid my bill
Yeah.
before I went to party, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me what happened in this instance.
Basically what he said. I burnt all this stuff up.
I know. Under what circumstance?
The whole cheating.
I'm trying to let you claim temporary insanity or something.
Well, the
Because
day
of the
that
cheating?
it happened, the same female that he had been cheating with, she had called his phone. I had confronted him about it, and he just decided that he wanted to storm off. That's the wrong thing to do. You never walk off from a woman when she's trying to talk to you. And he had been gone for about...
She got physical, too. That's why I walked off. I don't hit women.
He had been gone for about 30 minutes. So I said, okay.
And you're exactly right, sir. You do that, and you're exactly wrong. You do walk off on a woman, a man does, when she appears to be getting too heated, because it could lead to domestic violence. So you did right, and I'm glad you did. And you did wrong, and you're going to have to pay for this damage you caused. Your counterclaim for $2,800 for unpaid loans. How does he owe you?
We had a verbal agreement that we would
No,
split the rent in
No,
half
sir.
for $350.
Okay.
And he hasn't given me anything since January.
I didn't even stay with you
Since January?
Since
I didn't stay with her January. I moved
He
in
moved in at the
February.
end of January.
Okay, so have you given her something since
I
February?
gave her $600 a month, sir.
Since February?
$200 a week.
How
Every
did you do
Friday
it?
I got paid. I gave her $200. Every
He
Friday
gave
I
me
got
what
paid.
he wanted to give me when I had to beg for it. I feel like I shouldn't have to
Did
beg.
I give it to you?
Not the whole $600 every month.
You said he paid you nothing. though.
Thank you.
He didn't.
Catch yourself.
You just said you had to beg for it.
I gave
You're
her
laughing now.
$600
I
a
know.
month.
I know you're laughing because you know
she
you
said
got
I
caught in
moved
that
in
lie.
January.
Now be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Can't you hear when you're about to win?
Yes, sir.
Now you better walk off on me like you walk off on her and take your money with you. $3,200 for the property damage she admits to. Your claim is dismissed. You started out saying he gave you nothing. By the end of that statement, you were saying you had to beg him for what you did get. Your claim dismissed. Yours is granted. Have a good day.
I'm glad the judge saw right through you and that I owe you anything. I didn't touch nothing of yours. I didn't burn nothing of yours.
Plaintiff Kim Patterson says he's been dating the defendant off and on since they were teenagers, and recently he stayed with her for 2 months. However, while there, the defendant destroyed all of his property, including his DJ equipment, so he's suing. Defendant Debbie McAllister says Kim has a history of abusing drugs and using women. Debbie insists she never touched Kim's property, and she's countersuing for the cost of a U-Haul and property damages.
Start with you.
Yes, sir. Debbie and I have had history ever since we were teenagers, and she's been evil. She's money-oriented, and I just couldn't take anymore. I mean,
When you say you all have had history,
Yes,
what
sir.
is that? You all dated since you were teenagers or what?
yes, we did, Your Honor. Mm-hmm. Yes, we did. I think she was 16,
So you all dated off and on or consistently?
mainly off and on.
Okay, so how long did you date consistently?
Maybe 6 years.
All right, 6 years you had a
Liar.
real, you say what?
He's lying.
All right, what do you say? How many years?
For the past 21 years, we've been a constant presence in each other's life.
Got it. All right. Go ahead, sir. You say 6, she says 21. What else you want me to know? You just didn't know it was 21.
Exactly. You're exactly. God.
You were locked down and didn't know it.
Yes, sir.
Time flies when you're having fun, though.
Yeah, well, you're right. That means you were having fun. Time flew. Go ahead. What were the up and downs about? Why were you all back and forth? I mean,
well, Your Honor, it was not all my fault and not all hers either. But
True.
through the years, it's been some crazy things going on.
why'd you all break up finally?
Because I was at her house for 2 months and my DJ equipment was there. And one night I stayed out because I was DJing at a friend's house.
Liar.
And
Till what time?
Till like 2:30 in the morning.
DJing for your friend?
Yes.
Never came
Female
Yes.
friend?
No.
Not
It
a
was
female
guy.
friend?
It
No
was a guy.
females were there?
No, not at all.
You
other
were being
than-
paid?
Yes.
How many people were there? Just him?
About 6 people.
Let me hear from you, ma'am. I don't blame you. I turn my head to that too. You give me some background, ma'am.
Mr. Patterson has had a history of women, drugs, and lies.
Does he give you better stories than that?
Yes,
ma'am?
he
has given better stories than that.
No, not really. They are
His
pretty
stories
much
are
pretty
like
consistent,
that.
you know.
Whenever he gets in trouble, those are the type of stories.
Pretty much. Which is why I've walked away so many times in our relationship.
Lies.
That's
But we keep coming
unbelievable.
back. You know what I mean?
I was DJing for my friend. Like it's just him sitting on the couch and you DJing around. Who does to 2:30 a.m.?
Sir.
You sound like he wasn't even dancing. He just sitting there. Go, boy. Go play that song. Play that. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Play that over. Till he said, okay, man, I'm just going to go on to bed. No, one more half hour. It's only 2.
And
Yes,
to correct him, he never came home that night. He stayed out, and I texted him and told him wherever he was to stay where he
Truth.
was.
Get out.
And that is the way it
That's
happened.
what that means.
And I feel like
It
this here.
means get out.
Yes,
When she
sir.
said wherever
And
you're
I
at,
did.
stay where you're at.
And I
that
did,
means
Your Honor.
you're getting put out. I don't know whether you know it or not.
It's not that he did. He's not where he's where he is because he has to be, not because he want to be. And I made myself clear. I had clear expectations when he moved into my house. No women, no drugs, and do not steal anything from me because that has been his history over the years.
He's a crackhead?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Your Honor, I've been clean for over 9 years.
Good. All
She's
right.
talking out the side of her neck.
So
I'm not looking
he's not a
back.
crackhead. He's a recovering addict.
Yes,
Anybody
okay.
that's attempted rehabilitation, I refer to them as recovering addicts.
Yes, sir.
So I'm glad to hear that.
So
you're
am I.
no longer a crack abuser. You're
Exactly.
instead a recovering addict.
And a
Go
woman
ahead.
abuser.
And a what?
Woman abuser, because he uses women, and that was one of the other things that was one of
That's
my
a woman user,
Well,
not necessarily an abuser.
user.
All right, go ahead.
So he violated because I'm sure he wasn't out with a man, and he stayed out all night. I told him to stay where he was, and
I did.
he's upset because he had to go back to a lifestyle not like mine,
And I
a
like
lifestyle
it.
where he's at.
And I like it.
What does that mean?
Well, not to put her down or their lifestyle down too much, but you're talking about,
He downgraded. Is that what you're saying?
pretty much.
Oh,
And I like
You're
it.
talking about riding a trolley as opposed to,
And I like
being
it.
out, whatever. So you say.
you do seem to
know,
be a
so
I
woman
know.
of class,
She
and you
called-
got pretty
she-
nice jewelry on. You look very successful. I don't know how she looks and what she doing, but
Well, see, this is the
does she
thing.
have the class that you have?
Absolutely not.
You don't even
It
know
is
the
what it
woman.
is.
Does she have the resources that
Absolutely
you
not.
have?
You don't even
No.
know the woman.
I do.
He wouldn't
you
be
know-
on the trolley
you
if
know
he was
of
still
her,
with
and
you.
you don't know
Let
a
me
lot
tell
of
you,
that.
while he's defending her,
Oh.
let me give you some background.
Go ahead.
This man had a baby by this woman.
Yes, I do.
40 plus years ago and has never laid eyes on his son.
That's not my fault.
And that says a lot about who he is and why we're here today.
Where was
It's
I?
not your fault. What do you mean by that?
You answer that.
And plus, that's none of
What do
your
you
business.
mean by it's not
Okay?
your
You
fault?
have nothing to do with my exes, period, miss. Okay? Recognize that, please.
Well, no, sir. You were going after her character. When you open up the door for character, the person is able to respond by making reference to your character. And the reference she's made is that you are a recovering addict, you use women, and you have a child who's 40 and you've never laid eyes on. She's just, don't get all upset and start going off on her. In here, she just meant she didn't go off on you when you were referring to her character. She stood there and took it.
Yes, sir.
Let you talk crazy about her. Then when she got her chance, she talked crazy about you.
No, but you know.
Then we're going to get to the equipment he's suing you for.
Okay.
Why don't we get to that? It's his lawsuit.
Okay.
So you had been out all that night or till 2:30 by your admission, and she told you to get out. And so what happened to your things?
Your Honor, she had them at her house because I had a studio set up in one room of her house.
Mm-hmm.
When she found out that I was with my ex, she got crazy and kept saying, I'm coming to your house and bringing your medication. I'm going to knock on your door. I don't care what she says. And, Your Honor, I have the text right here. And she sent me
what?
600. She was saying, I ruined your stuff. You have nothing left. If you still want to come get the pieces, I will take pictures of it. If not, I will dispose of it.
Now, see, that's contradictory because she says you have nothing left. And then she says, come and get your pieces. That's confusing. I'll send you pictures of how I ruined all your stuff. Then later she says, you have nothing left. If you still want to come get the pieces, you still can. If not, I will dispose of it. That's not making sense. You have nothing left. If you want the pieces, you can. Come and get it. I have ruined all your stuff. Ma'am, you want to explain this? Because it appears.
That I never sent those texts.
What?
Absolutely not. That's not like me.
Where'd it come from?
I don't.
It's not like you.
I don't know. It's not. It's
Lord.
Okay.
They don't
So
even speak
you never
how I
touched
speak.
any of his things.
no. I never touched any of his things.
They're still there?
Okay. What happened was
Okay,
he
you
put a
tell me.
PFA against me.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, he put a PFA against me. It was bogus. And when we went down to court, we settled because, and he wrote a note as to everything that was still in my house, and this is a copy of
You
it.
settled what?
It was, I think, a civil. It went from a PFA to a civil where if we had contact, we couldn't call the police or anything like that. So we both agreed to that and that I would allow him to come into the house and retrieve his property. My attorney told him to write down everything that was there.
Okay.
If you look at this, there's no DJ
She
equipment
did.
on it.
Oh, let's see it, please. And did he come and get those things?
He did. And I have a
you
video.
came and picked up these things. Show him, please.
I also
did,
have a
Your Honor.
video.
No, I did not.
And why isn't your DJ equipment listed there?
She hid it. My son went up in the room, and the whole room
if it was missing, you would have written it down like those other things that are missing.
I did, Your Honor. I have it. Right
No,
here.
on that.
On this.
Yeah, did you write that out or not?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so why on that document don't you list your DJ equipment?
Because I have it on the other ones, Your Honor.
Is that other one is for whom? Who is that for?
This is for me. This is all the stuff that I had ordered
yourself?
on Amazon. Yes, sir.
All
It's
right,
like
we're
the
talking about
receipts.
what you said to her. That written document.
Yes,
you
sir.
said these, and did it go through the court? Did
Yes.
the court view this?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay, so you prepared it for the court. Let me
Yes,
see
sir.
that. This is what you told the court.
No,
How
sir.
do you explain telling the court that these are the only items she has of yours?
Your Honor, I was under a lot of stress at that point.
Okay,
in time,
stress.
Honestly, she took all of my clothes,
Okay.
my dirty.
How much is your
underwear,
DJ
socks.
equipment worth?
It's at least $3,500.
$3,500.
Yes.
All right. You were under stress.
Yes.
And let me tell you the things you did put down. Toothpaste.
Yes, sir.
Razors.
Yes.
Clippers.
Yes.
Movies.
Yes.
Posters.
Yes, sir.
Yet you don't put down equipment, the most important things here. I won't believe anything else you say today, so your claim is dismissed and hers is granted. Have a good day.
You lied the whole time.
I didn't
you know you
lie.
had my equipment, man.
I didn't lie about
you had
anything.
my equipment.
Kim,
You know you do.
You know what the problem
I want my
is? The
gear.
problem is this.
The problem is
this
you're
is the
grimy.
problem is this.
Talk to the hand.
You want me to
Hey,
treat
leave
you
me
like
alone,
a king,
man.
but you
Leave me
keep
alone.
forgetting who the queen
Don't
is,
even
baby.
speak to me again, ever.
I told you
Long
what
as
it
your
was.
lives.
Whatever.
Goodbye.
Plaintiff Rashi Cradell says the defendant is her fiance's best friend, and they used to hustle together. Rashi claims the defendant spent 14 years in prison for dealing drugs, and she's suing him today because he totaled her car. Defendant Sean Ellaby has been hustling since the age of 12, but 14 years in prison changed him. Sean credits Rashi's fiancée for getting him released from prison early, but he says Rashi is annoying and aggravating. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, Judge, I've known Sean, Mr. Ellaby, maybe since 1997. He's actually the best friend of my fiance, Pierre. Back in the days, they used to hustle drugs, you know, like in the streets. And 2005, Sean was sentenced to 14 years federal prison for selling narcotics. Now, when he came home, we allowed him to come and stay in our house.
How much was it?
A lot.
What does that mean? 100 kilos? 200 kilos?
Nah, about overall they said $3 million worth of narcotics.
I don't know what that means. That could be street value. That's all right, man. You're avoiding it.
So we
Thank
allowed...
God you're out, though. When did you get out?
27th of March, 2019.
Good. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, well, Mr. Ellaby, after he came home from prison, we allowed him to come and stay in our house, rent-free, no responsibilities of paying no bills, nothing. The only thing that I required was no women in my house.
Oh, now you sound crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Even I know that.
Thank you.
No,
Let me turn
it's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Thank you.
I'm
Lord,
turning over
thank
to you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna turn my back on
Thank
you
you.
all together.
Thank you. What?
Now, it wouldn't have been as bad
No.
if the man hadn't been in prison for 14 years. How you gonna tell a man that's been in prison 14 years that you can't have no women?
Oh, my God.
No.
What else you want to tell me before I go over to him, man? What are the other conditions?
Well, besides him, the rule, you know, Sean is very nosy, cocky, always jumping in people's conversations when it has nothing to do with him. Anytime I would
You won't let him get that energy out of him. Go ahead.
Well, he needed to leave my house to get that energy out. Go run around the block.
All right,
Go
man.
take the
ahead.
garbage out.
You're
Go mow the lawn. Something other than taking the
That's
energy
your
out
rule,
in
your
my
house, your rules,
my
you're
house, my rules.
You're right.
Or he
And no
could've-
sex.
Right.
That's
there
right.
you go. Now, that's the rule that he broke. So one day I came downstairs, and in my family room, there were some shoes that did not belong to me. And next thing I know, I started hearing these moaning and groaning noises. And it was Sean upstairs humping and bumping with some chick. And I told Pierre it's time for him to go.
Excuse me.
Nope, it's not your turn.
I have to interject in this.
No,
It's
no.
6 in the morning. They should be sleeping.
No.
I'm trying to get in and
now
out.
with the noise you make, you've been gone for 14 years. I know you was howling at the moon. Go ahead, man.
At 6 in the morning, I'm up because I had
Yeah,
a
you don't have
job
to explain that. All right, I got that. Let me allow him to give some background.
Your Honor, I've been in the streets hustling since I was 12 years old. You know, my mother and father was addicts, so I took on responsibility since I'm the oldest, take care of my younger siblings. In my time being in the street, I met Pierre. We became real close. It's been about 22 years now. And, you know, like she said, I caught 14 years in the feds. In my time in the feds...
Did you do any time?
Yes, Your Honor.
He didn't give you up, did he? No. Oh, y'all were on the conspiracy together?
No.
Oh, y'all wasn't on the same case?
No.
All right, go ahead.
Don't do that. I don't do that. But long story short, the 14 years changed me. You know, I'm a law-abiding citizen now. I'm a commercial driver. I'm a tattoo artist.
Good.
You know, I got a whole different appreciation for life.
Yep.
Now, mind you, in my transitions, Mr. Thompson, Pierre, he helped me get out because he filed the motion through a lawyer, which I appreciate. You know, it's my friend, love him to death. I got to for that. But, in that time, you know, the 22 years I know him, I've met Rashid, known Rashid. Now, Rashid, she's good people. She's just aggravating. I can't even take it. She's annoying. She's aggravating. She's hypocritical. She plays this church thing. Oh, I'm so church. I go to this. I've been home 7 months. I ain't seen her go to church yet. She might go to a secret church. I don't know. It might be a night church when I'm asleep.
Night
I don't
church.
know. I don't know what type of church it is, but I haven't seen the day church, so it could be some night church going on, you know.
You don't see me go to church because I put you out.
I ain't see a church. She might be like secret society church. It could be like, I don't know, be some kind of church.
You go to church?
Yes, sir, I go to church.
What church
What's
is that?
the name of it?
New Bethel Church of God in Christ, City of Praise.
When they open?
Assistant Jamar Frazier.
They not open
I'm gonna
those
call
days
it.
I've been
They
there.
are 2020 Broadway, Schenectady, New York.
They must be closed for renovations.
No.
I'm gonna call my pastor, Bishop Blake, who's the presiding bishop over the International
Kojic,
Church of God in Christ. I know. I'm gonna call him and see. Give me your phone.
But in that time, Your
Go
Honor,
ahead. I'm just kidding.
in that time, Your Honor, you know, that's how I've changed my life.
Good.
You know, and
Good.
I'm focused on getting my life in order.
Good.
You know,
Glad to
helping
hear
my
that.
loved ones and friends. The transition's been real smooth.
Now, tell me about the car.
So I used to own a 2008 Dodge Charger.
Death trap.
Sean asked me if he could borrow my vehicle, and I told him no because he did not have a driver's license.
I had a permit.
So
I was on my way getting licensed.
he did not have a driver's license. I
was a
told
week away.
him no.
Sir, that's enough. Go ahead.
So
You told him no.
yes. So Mr. Pierre came to pick me up from work on that evening, and while he was there at my job, he said Sean had an accident with my car and we needed to go pick him up because a state trooper had him. And I'm like, how did he get my car? He's like, oh, well, he asked me if I could use it, and I told him yes. I said, I already told Sean no, he could not use my car. So he's like, I didn't know that you told Sean that he couldn't use your car. So when we arrived where he was with the state trooper, he loves being in the back of a cop car.
Stop that.
I told him, you're gonna have to pay for my car because I specifically told you no. And he says, I'll take care of it. Now he's saying, oh, it's a death trap. I shouldn't have to pay for it.
What happened? Did
He
you find
totaled
out
the
the
he
details?
totaled the car.
Did you find out how it occurred?
He's saying that the car had bald tires and that it was a piece of crap.
But it had to hit something to be totaled.
He went off the road and
Okay.
tore up the undercarriage.
Okay, did the police come to
Yes,
the
the police
scene?
came, they totaled the car out, and they had to tow the car away.
And he told them that occurred, that he had slid off the road. Did he give them any other details? to
Yes,
your
he told
knowledge?
them that my car had bald tires. That's why he slid off the road.
Okay. Let me hear from you, sir.
Now, Your Honor, on the day in question, I asked her, can I use the vehicle? I did ask her, because I had some things to do, some errands to run. She got 2 cars. She only using one. I'm not going to use them both. It's sitting there in the driveway, you know? So she says no. I said, okay. I made an executive decision to go above her head. I said, P, bro, I need to use the car. I got some things to do. You know, I got to run around. He's like, okay, take the keys, right? Get the key, go. I said, all right, I got you. I'll be back. So I runs around, make my little errands, and go see my little ladies' friends because I can't have them at the house. So on my way back, it starts raining. As I'm coming home, it's this steep turn you have to get off the exit to go to the house. As I'm coming around this turn, the car starts to slide. The car slides, hits a cement foundation that's in the ground. I guess it used to be a light at one time or something. The car went over that, it ripped the whole undercarriage up, and I went down a hill. Now, mind you, being that I'm such an extraordinary individual, I walked away unscathed. Because anybody else, they probably would have died in this accident. This was a death trap on
Why
wheels.
shouldn't you pay?
I feel I shouldn't pay because she had a death trap on the road. This car couldn't pass inspection with
What's
them
your
tires.
counterclaim for?
Emotional stress.
What did she do to you?
She emotional because she let me get, she had a death trap registered and insured on the road, and it shouldn't have been on the road. It should not have been on the road.
And I told you
and I
no.
saved her. I said she should be paying me for saving her life.
No.
Because had that been her, she
No.
might not made it.
I told you no.
She might not made it. She's so little.
Please tell me you're a lawyer, because you should sue him for malpractice. He didn't allow you to testify in your own defense at trial, did he, over your drug trial, did he? 'Cause I would have gave you 30 if you talk like this at the drug trial, sir. That is faulty logic, first of all. Let's start here. She told you no. So when you took it anyway, you committed a crime if she wanted to file.
Thank you.
Because she told you no when you took her car, and she told you no. When you take something from somebody and they tell you not to, that's theft. That's
Another
don't make the
crime.
viewers think you don't know the difference. Now, they're going to say, he don't even know the difference between right and wrong. He doesn't know what a crime and isn't a crime. He need to go back in. So stop it.
Yeah.
They're
If
going
he
to think
say yeah.
people that have been freed need to go back in because they don't know the difference between right and wrong. And that is a crime, taking her car. At the very least, it's negligent. You created the first negligent act or illegal act by taking it. Everything that follows that goes wrong is your fault. Because had you not committed the illegal or negligent act in the first place, none of that would have happened. It could very well be that she told you no because she knew those things were wrong. And she may have known how to operate a raggedy car, but didn't trust that you knew. So, well, I know how to operate my own raggedy car, but you're not gonna know how to operate my raggedy car, so no. You got it? You tried to operate the raggedy car, and you couldn't, like she told you. So you owe the woman her money, sir. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Your claim is granted. Good luck to you, man. Keep us proud, all right? Have a good day.
I still feel emotionally stressed. I got PTSD. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the judge didn't see it in my favor. Obviously, I saved her life. I should have got paid just for saving her life. Like, you know, but I'm still gonna go to her restaurant and eat a lot of empanadas because she's a good cook anyway, so, you know, I ain't got nothing else to do.
That's my boy. I love him. He's like my brother. Ain't nothing gonna happen. That's it. And I love her too.
But what? He's gonna do what?
He's gonna pay that money.
Exactly. He's gonna pay.
I got to.
Plaintiff LaShawna Jones and her sister Holly say the defendant is their sister, and she and LaShawna have always butted heads. LaShawna claims the defendant is a stripper who always plays the victim, and LaShawna is suing her today because the defendant totaled her car. Defendant Venetia Noble says she and LaShawna got along fine when they were younger, but as they grew older, LaShawna became a big bad bully. Venetia is countersuing LaShawna for harassment.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
How you doing? Venetia is my sister. Out of 27 kids of my father.
27.
Yes, it's 27 of us. Me and Venetia and like the top 5 of us, we built a relationship where we all come together. We bring our kids together and on. But as far as Venetia, you know, and me, we always bumped heads. We always had like a bittersweet type of relationship, I should say.
Why?
Because Venetia, the things that Venetia does, she's not responsible for anything that she does. You know, by her being a dancer, a finesser, that's how she deal with a lot of people, including her family. Me personally, that's not how I deal with her, and that's not how I deal with our relationship.
Ballet? Or?
No, we talking about stripper
I was an
pole.
exotic dancer about a couple years ago.
Exotic dance.
Yes.
You exotic?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Said she does
She's
too?
recruiting.
I'm a personal care worker.
That she found in the trash.
I never,
Your Honor.
I mean, it's fine. Nothing wrong
I mean,
with
that's what they do on their time, but that don't have anything to do with what I'm saying about this recruiter. What I'm saying to her is that far as my sister, her thing with me and her has never been always sweet and good. Venetia and me always bumped heads on different occasions because Venetia always play victim when she knows she's wrong. She never take full responsible for the things that she does.
You
she just feel like
bodyguard over anything that
I mean,
don't have nothing
if
to
I
do with
bodyguard off anything that comes to me, because this is my vehicle, I'm not talking about her vehicle, Your Honor. I'm talking about something that belongs to me, that I worked hard for.
Who did you leave your vehicle to?
I worked hard for.
Who did you leave it to?
I didn't leave it to you, so you shouldn't have been in it. That's what I'm
is.
saying. How did you pick up my
Give me
keys
some
and get in it?
background on your relationship.
Okay,
with your
well,
sister.
I'm Benicia Nobles. I met LaShawna at 12 years old, right after my grandma passed or whatever. Like she said, my daddy got 27 kids or whatever case is. You know, it's like 5 of us immediately, you know what I'm saying, have a close relationship. As we grew up, everything was cool. Everybody had a tight relationship. You know, as we got grown, you know, we started bumping heads. LaShawna just overdo her party, you know what I'm saying, try to be big bad bully. And
How are
take
you
over
going to be a
situation.
big bad bully, Your Honor, when all I'm asking is for something that belongs to
Yeah,
me?
but you seem a little tough. Go ahead.
I'm very tough, Your Honor, but only when it's time to be tough. But I'ma definitely come correct if I'm asking you for something that belongs to me. You make me step out that character and get tough with you, Your Honor, that's when it comes out.
We all right,
No, we all right. We all right, Your Honor. You know what I mean? We all
You
right.
stepped to the side and was talking to me for a minute.
We all right, Your Honor.
All right, now.
I'm dead.
I see why you're nervous.
I know.
All right. And tell me what happened to your car that cost you $2,700.
On March 29th, I was at work, and I had got the phone call from my brother, her ex-boyfriend that she was dating at the time of the car accident. He told me that Venicia had totaled my car while I was at work. And when I got home, I'm like, what's going on? How did she total it? Because Venicia was at this guy's house getting drunk with her, and my other sister. And she had
Her, recruiter?
The recruiter.
It's dragging me.
Okay. And they gave me the phone call.
Did you get a commission?
No.
She don't even get
Look at
tips,
her.
Your Honor.
You said she recruits.
Don't bring
Your
her.
wardrobe
That's for
was
her.
awesome for her. That was the case, Your Honor.
Baby,
look at your
But
wardrobe.
listen,
As you
we
can
talking
see,
about
messy.
that.
Nasty
We
Your
talking about what
Honor,
you owe, but you being
cannot-
messy. She has nothing to do with this. I'm your
Honor,
sister. I totaled your car. So what do you have to say to her?
But Your
So why
Honor,
she here if she don't have nothing to do with it? I told you
She
before
was
you
in the
brought
car.
her. Bring her.
She was in the car.
She's
How is she not a
pointless.
witness?
Just like you was in the
How
car.
Your
is
Honor,
she not a
this
witness?
is so crazy that she brought this
She's
young lady
pointless.
as a witness, and this young lady is the one that gave me the phone call while I was at work and said Venicia was wrong.
So you ain't do
Why
that?
would Venicia do that?
You did.
When did I say you need to watch your mouth?
Left
Calm
the-
down.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, Venicia then used her as a witness. She gonna be okay, Your Honor. It's just edgy because we haven't seen them since the reaction of the situation. Your Honor, she gonna be all right.
I'm trying to be, bro. Like, for real.
Okay, just relax.
Is that the Holy Ghost or she?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I can tell you
He done
that
laid
the
hands
reason
on me and I
why
wanna
we
lay
so
hands on her.
upset with our sister is because the young lady that she brought today was the one who called me after my brother stated that Venicia crashed my car. She called me and she said, well, Venicia, I don't understand what Venicia was thinking. She didn't yield. She was on the wrong side of the street. What happened? Woo, woo, woo. Because
Exactly
Venicia
what she
had on
said.
a head-on collision, sir. But my whole thing is Venicia, as my sister stated with the text message I had, oh, well, she won't know who she thinks she messing with. I'm finna ride over here and do this and all that. Then she
We
on
finna ride down
Snapchat
those drag
and
bags.
playing with it and all that stuff like that. After she's supposed to not even
said
been
it was
talking
after?
to the female.
How was the
She
car
was
totaled?
mad
What did
that
she run
BB
into?
said she
had a
looked like a
head-on
cancer
collision.
patient
With who?
with no
Another
makeup.
car?
No, this is her. No, this is between Shonda
This
and
is
her.
how it started.
You look like
Not just you should.
Up your head.
Okay,
Girl, stop playing with me.
Judge. Okay, they calm. I
BB,
think so.
I'm calm.
BB.
You see how she calming her down like that's your blood sister, but when it
At
all
the same
comes down
time,
to
I know
it,
y'all.
hold on. When it all comes down to
Ratchet
it,
in her
face.
She's talking about ratchet because she got a new hairdo right now. But when I
This
tell
a
you
wig.
this,
Say
when I
it's a
tell you
wig,
this,
Shauna. You
Your
know
Honor,
that.
Your Honor,
know
what
that.
I said to you is
You know that.
any means necessary when anything happens with my sisters, Your Honor, I'm coming. I don't know about no friends. I know
Yeah.
about who coming when it
Yeah.
come down to my family. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what she needs to be understanding
Yes.
because friends come and go. Your blood gonna be there regardless.
But you're mad about her making a statement.
To your
You're
sister.
mad about her making a statement.
But she has
Her opinion is her opinion.
But how she able to
Period.
be comfortable enough to say it to my
What
You
did
be
I
quiet
tell you?
and go back to praying, whatever you're doing
What did I
over
tell you?
there. Get your
It don't
Holy
even
Ghost
matter.
again.
No, she ain't got. She felt that way because
How good
Holly
Christian
went to a
lady.
It
Look
ain't
at
got
her.
nothing
She
to do with
rocking,
y'all hair.
rock of
'Cause I catch y'all fast.
ages.
LaShawna
She got the
left
Holy
her
Ghost and
car
she's singing rock of ages.
with
y'all.
Holly Jones and I drove.
What happened to the car?
And as we was leaving this gentleman's house, this is where we was kicking it at, right here. We was at his house. And
Sir?
Yeah, bro. Right
here. Him. Oh, okay. I didn't know. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He was kicking it at that gentleman's house. It was me and her at first. We was in her car, or whatever the case is. I had called Holly and told her to come out, or whatever the case is. LaShawna brought her out there in her car. So they ended up meeting up at his house, you know what I'm saying, whatever. We kicking it. Shauna had to go to the work. So Shauna was like, you know, she'd leave her car with Holly. And that's about all. So we agreed on taking Shauna to work, dropping her off, and going back to the house.
Nobody ever took me to
Let
work.
her finish.
So then, after that, we leave his house after we get done kicking it, whatever. We leave, driving up the street on Halsted. I finna make a turning left, a left on Lincoln Highway, and the car smacked me. She say failure to yield. Yes, I did get a ticket for failure to yield. Then after, the car was totaled, they totaled it on the scene. I got arrested, and they let Holly and Shauna go home.
That you had head on, was that totaled also?
No.
You have a picture?
Her car wasn't able to pull off. The other car.
Right. That's what, one could and one couldn't? I don't know if that suggests you were going faster than the other or not.
She had to go a lot more faster, Your Honor.
No one was injured?
Yeah, she was the most
She hurt
injured.
her knee and
her neck.
her neck.
I had a neck brace.
Yeah.
She just had a jammed finger, Your Honor.
Yeah.
You were the one driving?
Yeah.
The bags did come out?
All of them.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank God.
So why don't you think you should pay, ma'am?
Well, with this being said, okay, the agreement was basically she had told me that Shauna gave her $500. Holly gave her $500.
What was it? Did you agree to pay her or not?
I agreed to pay her $500, yes.
No, the entire amount. Why wouldn't you agree to pay all of it?
Because that's what she didn't say that. She didn't say that in the beginning.
Who didn't?
LaShawna didn't say she wanted $2,700
What did
until
you
she
tell
told me
her?
she was suing me.
I told her that to give me $1,500. When Venetia failed to contact me after she deleted me off social media and we didn't have any way to contact out each other, I said, since I asked you only for $1,500, I'm going to get you for everything that I paid for the car.
All
That's
right.
her being my sister. I'm trying to take it easy because I know she got kids and other responsibilities. But if you don't care about me and my kids' responsibilities,
Who has the value of the car? Blue Book value. And you're countersuing her for $1,500 for what?
Harassment.
How has she harassed you?
She's had her, which is my ex-boyfriend, which is her godbrother, threatened me that he
You
sent
need
me.
to sue him.
Then, she also called my brothers and people in my family, basically saying I better get her the money or, this or that, what's going to happen to me.
And with that being said, everybody was calling me through her, because Venetia was telling a story and they was reaching out to me like, you and Venetia need to get it together and y'all sisters, y'all better than that. And at the end of the day, Your Honor, if my sister would have even cared for me getting work, because once after she told him my car,
Holly
Your Honor,
was the only one calling.
once she told him my car, Your Honor, she got her car fixed, she had a previous accident in the same month also.
All right. Did you want to speak, Church Lady, before I finish?
It's not fair.
I'm trying to be funny. That's, Church Lady is a compliment. Don't you take that as a compliment?
Sure will. I go to church every Sunday.
And Holy Ghost, hey.
Holy Ghost.
You need to get back to your...
Catch the Holy Ghost up here.
I go to church. I'm saved, but I heard him.
You need to get back to all that. I don't want to hear any more from you. $1,500 is your judgment, ma'am, and that's the Blue Book value of the car. It's what I'll grant you. You don't get the amount you paid for it. You get the value of it at the time it was totaled. And for you, ma'am, I'm going to dismiss your claim. You have no evidence that she harassed you, and so therefore I'm going to dismiss your claim. All right, have a good day, ladies. $1,500 is your judgment. Yours is...
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
That's it.
I have really not too much to say to her because she's a non-factor, but for my sister, wrong is wrong, right is right. You should have paid me my money, and that's how we would have moved on in our life. And at the end of the day, I don't have no hard feelings with my sister. I just feel like she should be woman enough to stand up and do what you're supposed to do when you do it.
Well, I'm happy it's over.
Plaintiff Charles Butler met the defendant at a nursing home while caring for the defendant's mother. Charles claims he and the defendant eventually got married, but she's constantly accusing him of cheating and often throws things at him during arguments. Charles is suing his wife because she bleached his property. Defendant Lisa Heiler says she didn't realize Charles was married until a month after they started dating. And after they wed, Lisa constantly caught Charles on dating websites. Lisa denies owing Charles for his property, and she's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you, sir.
Well, I met Miss Heiler at a nursing home in 2012. And I used to take care of mom. And when I come into the nursing home in 2012, I noticed she liked me. She was, you know, looking at me a whole
Your Honor,
lot.
that's
Yeah.
not true. That's not true.
How did y'all come together then?
If he initiated everything, you
At
know.
the nursing home?
Yes, at the nursing home.
That's pretty low.
What I'm trying to say
You're
is
supposed to be there taking care of the people. And you hitting on their relatives.
I had my back turned and I noticed she was looking at me. So what I did...
You know what you
Because I turned around, Your Honor, I glanced like this and I said, she must want my number. So I approached her and I said, well, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna take you out on a date.
That's what I'm gonna do for you.
Where you wanna go?
Supplying a need.
So now she accepted that proposal, and I called her, came by to get her, and we went out, and after that, things progressed. She started liking me like I knew she would, and
a regular sex symbol.
So
Right. A ladies' man. Right.
So we moved in together. She's all right,
Back it up.
He moved in with you?
That's
First
of all,
you
Your
go ahead
Honor,
and give me some
when I met
background.
him, this man was married. I did not know anything. I did not know he was married until like a month after we were dating.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
How'd you find that out?
One of his co-workers at the job, at the nursing home, said, your wife left this message for you to bring milk and eggs home on your way home from work.
You just happened to be stressing.
Yeah.
What
They're
did you
visiting my
say?
mom, and he's sitting there with me laughing and giggling. I just was,
You
my mouth
you
dropped.
let it go for that at that point?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
did. I let it go, because he was explaining to me like, the marriage was over with. He was
Mhm.
just helping because, she has his daughter. So,
Okay. And how did the relationship progress to the point of marriage for you guys? How long afterwards? Because it worked out. When did you marry?
September the 14th, 2015.
All right, 3 years later.
Yes.
3 years after meeting.
Yeah.
All right. And did he propose on one knee?
No.
Propose?
No, he did.
How did he propose?
It was, oh my goodness, it was the least romantic proposal a girl would ever.
In the nursing home?
No, no. No, we passed the nursing home now.
Where were y'all?
We were at my house. We were broken up for a while, for like a summer, that whole summer. So he came to me and was like, well, you know what? Let's just get married. Forget all of this stuff. You know you love me and you know I love you. We dating other people and all this stuff. Why don't we just get together, get married, and leave all this stupid stuff alone? Which
Okay.
it really wasn't me doing this stuff.
How long was the engagement before you married?
We got married the next week.
Okay.
Oh my
September of 15, what has the marriage been like? I'll go back to you before we get to the property you're suing her about. But what was the marriage like, or what has it been like? You all are still married.
It's like the lights is on, but ain't nobody home dealing with her. Like she just walking around and she say I'm cheating on her all the time. We sell cars now, and I'm always looking at a woman, and when I do, she'll try to throw glass at my head, and I'm ducking and dodging. And one time she ran out the house with you had her underwear on, and ran and threw a vase at the window, trying to chase me down like one of them underdogs. I ain't know what was going on.
Like a hunting dog.
Like, wow. Have you ever seen, I can't think off the Beverly Hills, something like that.
Coyote?
Yeah. One of them Tasmanian devils. That's what it is. Now,
ma'am, you've gotten violent with him from time to time, he sounds like he's saying?
That's true what he said. I threw something at him. But I'm constantly catching him on these dating websites. You're a married man. Mm-hmm. How are you going on dating websites and chat lines and things like that of that nature? And your only excuse is, I was mad at you at the time, so I decided to make me a profile on single ladies or sugar mamas and all this type of stuff. That's the last one I called him on.
Sugar mamas?
Yeah. Sugar mamas for sugar
when
babies.
He at the nursing home. I'm gonna leave that alone. Trying to catch you a girlfriend.
I was trying to
catch you a sugar mama at the nursing home.
A tenderonis, yeah.
What is that?
A tenderonis. I call them tenderonis, you know.
Your sugar mamas you refer to as tenderonis.
Yes.
Okay.
Sad. It's really sad.
I'm gonna get me in trouble. What's your age category? How far will you go up for a couple of dollars?
I'll say about 47.
Oh,
I might can get a Denny's discount, get in there,
Get on out of here. You're just
Like
talking
that.
stuff. All right, you probably got to pay. So what property did she damage? So far, she's throwing things at you. What else?
One day I came home after work, and the next day,
right?
I told her I was going to, work a double, and
at least you work. Go ahead.
When I got to the house, she done broke the TV on the floor. I had smart TV. My shoes, she done bleached my shoes, my clothes, and she standing in the floor and let the little dog, we had a little dog I had bought her, bite on my shoes and stuff. She said, that's what I get, you be. I know you been cheating on me. And I said, I ain't cheating on you. I said, I'm tired of sleeping in cars. She'll put me out 3-4 times a week. I'm sleeping in the car in front of the house like it's a
You would think
Indian
you would
tent.
stop cheating after all that. She attacks you with things, puts you out all the time, bleaches your clothes. Where you from, Detroit?
No, I'm from Chicago.
Chicago? Women don't play. They do all of that. Detroit, I know. That's why I don't cheat. My wife from Detroit. I wouldn't cheat anyway. My beautiful wife, you see my beautiful wife, but that Detroit background helps. Go ahead, sir. All right, so that's what you're suing for, the property? You have the list of items?
Yeah, I have Exhibit A and B.
All right, Exhibit A. What do you say to this, ma'am? You've admitted breaking his things. Why shouldn't you pay for them?
Because it's his fault. I mean,
you don't retaliate
it's like a
this
chicken
when someone cheats. You just leave. If it's going to drive you to violence, you leave before you get locked up. All right, your counterclaim for emotional distress. How does he owe you for that?
When I met him in June 2012, I was on high blood pressure medication in August of 2012, dealing with him.
Now, you met him in 2012.
Right, and 2 months later, I had to get, 2 months later after meeting him. It's like, he
you stayed with him because you all are still married. What, you want, a stroke?
No,
I'm trying to be funny, but if your blood pressure went up the first 2 months, you should have known he wasn't healthy for you. This wasn't a healthy relationship. So why are you all still married? You intend to reconcile?
I'm trying to work with her because she got potential. I'm trying to show her
I asked this
man. You pitiful. Now,
Mathis, I asked him, we need to attend marriage counseling or leave each other alone.
I agree. And what is his answer? What is your answer about attending marriage counseling, sir?
Well, I can do the counseling because I know what's wrong. She just don't know.
All right. Do you have the ability to get counseling? You have insurance and all that?
Yes.
All right, good. I was going to offer you $20. I don't know how much that would have helped. But, okay, that wouldn't help much. In the meantime, the problem you have here, sir, it is marital property unless you purchased these things before you got married. Any of the things you purchased before marriage?
Yes, I did.
What?
The TV, but not those clothes.
That's it? Just the television? Is that true, ma'am?
Before marriage?
Yes.
Yeah.
You had that before marriage? Anything you bring into the marriage, they are excluded from marital property. And so that is the case here. $300 is your judgment. Can't grant you emotional distress for a man cheating. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed.
Thank you.
We just gonna work it out, you know. It's just a misunderstanding and a misconception and a drift. We've drifted into a whole nother direction. We just, you know.
We have to get marriage counseling if we're gonna stay together. That's it.